Ladies and gentlemen, the formal processional begins. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present representatives of the esteemed current and emeriti faculty, staff, and administration of California State University, Northridge. Ladies and gentlemen, the students of California State University, Northridge, represented by the Associated Students Government. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome visiting representatives from other colleges and universities and the Office of the Chancellor. Please welcome the presidents of other California State University campuses. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand to welcome members of the California State University Board of Trustees and the other members of the Platform Party. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Dianne F. Harrison, President of the University, escorted by the Chancellor of the California State University, Dr. Timothy White. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce our Master of Ceremonies, Dr. William Watkins, Vice President of Student Affairs and Dean of Students.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is my proud pleasure to declare this investiture ceremony officially opened. We will begin with the singing of our national anthem by Mr. Babatunde Akinbaboye. Excellent. Please be seated. President Harrison, Chancellor White, CSU Board of Trustee members, esteemed faculty, staff, alumni, and students, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. The California State University Northridge family welcomes you to this investiture of Dr. Dianne F. Harrison as the 5th Board of Trustee appointed President of California State University Northridge. We thank you all for joining us on this auspicious occasion, and we thank you for sharing with us our hope, our pride, and our joy as we imagine and undertake together the bright future that lies ahead. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to acknowledge the members of Dr. Harrison's family who are in attendance today. Will the family please rise and receive our acknowledgement? They're seated to my right. Wonderful. Thank you for coming. I'm also pleased to introduce to you a member of the California State University Board of Trustees who has joined us today, Vice Chair Lou Monville. Lou's here. Trustee Monville, thank you. From the California State University, we are pleased to welcome Dr. Timothy P. White, Chancellor of this country's largest senior system of public higher education in this country. Chancellor White, please stand and receive our acknowledgement. Thank you, sir. I am pleased to acknowledge the other members of the platform party, including our deans, vice presidents, members of the extended cabinet, including our faculty president, and other guests who will be addressing us this morning. Will these members of the platform party please rise and receive our acknowledgement? Thank you. We are honored to have joining us in the audience today a number of elected officials and their representatives who represent the communities in the region in which we find this university. We would like to acknowledge their presence and would ask that any representatives or elected officials who are here today please rise. Thank you. At this time, it is customary for representatives from the Board of Trustees, the presidents of the California State University, and the campus students, alumni, community, staff, and faculty to provide greetings to a new president. Bringing greetings on behalf of the Board of Trustees is Lou Monville, Vice Chair of the Cal State University Board of Trustees. Trustee Monville.
Thank you and good morning. On behalf of the California State University Board of Trustees, I want to welcome all of the members of the California State University Northridge community who have joined us today. I'm honored to represent our board and to celebrate such an important milestone for President Harrison and this great university. We are pleased that Dr. Harrison has become part of the California State University Northridge family. Presidential investitures are a time of promise, a time to look forward, and a time to acknowledge this president, this university, and all that they mean to this vibrant and diverse community. It is indeed a joyous occasion that brings us all here today, and I'm honored to offer President Harrison, the Board of Trustees, greetings and best wishes for future success. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Monville. It is now my pleasure to introduce a CSU president who holds a special place in the hearts of the CSUN family, none other than Dr. Mohammed Kayomi, president of San Jose State University, who will greet us on behalf of the presidents of the California State University. Mo?
Good morning. On behalf of the presidents of the California State University campuses, I'm delighted and honored to join my colleagues who are here today, President Michael Ortiz, President Jim Rosser, President Thomas Morales, and President DeCrush, to welcome our dear friend Dianne Harrison to her new role as President of California State University Northridge. We know Dianne very well, having worked with her as a close colleague for the last 6 years as president of Cal State Monterey Bay before she came to CSUN. Dianne knows and personally experienced the challenges before her, challenges that as CSU presidents we face together. Public higher education is at the crossroad. Rising costs and decreasing public resources are placing heavy burden on students and their families. The path to high-quality higher education is becoming more difficult, not only for the 440,000 students in the CSU, but students across the country. Having spent 6 wonderful years at CSUN, I know how a great, creative, and responsive institution this is. With Dianne at CSUN is very fortunate to have a dedicated and visionary leader to help develop new approaches to learning that will meet 21st century needs. In her short year at CSUN, she has already begun to address these issues in her trademark, thoughtful, and creative ways. So once again, Dianne, on behalf of our 22 presidents of the CSU, the greatest public higher education system in the world, it's my honor to welcome you as CSUN's 5th president. We look forward to working with you for many years to come.
Thank you, Dr. Kaomi. And now, to represent our students, it's my pleasure to introduce the president of our Associated Students, someone who is also a graduating senior, Sydney Powell.
On behalf of the students of California State University, Northridge, we formally and enthusiastically welcome Dr. Dianne Harrison to the family of Matadors. We are happy to have such a distinguished and warm person inheriting our history of successes. We are more than pleased to have someone of her caliber guide us into our bright future. This university is populated by students whose main goal in life is to achieve something great and be somebody. CSUN doesn't make these somebodies, it finds them, and it gives them the tools to be better versions of themselves. It is very comforting to have a university president who recognizes this about our culture and is committed to maximizing each individual's potential. It is our hope that the partnership between Dr. Harrison and the students will continue to flourish. Even though students will come and go, I trust that her steadfastness will allow us to remain a powerhouse in the San Fernando Valley and beyond. Welcome home, President Harrison.
Thank you, Sydney. And now, representing our alumni, our president of our CSUN Alumni Association, Dennis DeYoung. Dennis?
It's a beautiful day here in the San Fernando Valley, and this is an auspicious day for Cal State Northridge. Nelson Mandela once said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." I believe this is true and evident here at California State University, Northridge. We are blessed to have over 200,000 alumni who receive degrees from either San Fernando Valley State or Cal State Northridge over the past 55 years. Many of those graduates have leveraged their Matador education into careers that have brought them fame, fortune, success in their chosen endeavors. Speaking on behalf of our alumni, I know that they will continue to support this great institution with contributions of their time, money, and other resources. For the past 2 years, it has been my great privilege to serve as the 29th president of the Alumni Association and to represent this important and vital component of our university. I am proud to be a second-generation Matador. Like many of our alumni, my better half is also a CSUN graduate, and we are both proud donors to the university. The alumni open their arms and welcome Dr. Harrison to our Northridge community. The roots of this university lie in the post-World War II era when orange trees and walnut groves and chicken ranches made way for the 356 acres that we now call Cal State Northridge. I am sure the first president, Ralph Prater, would not recognize this campus today. This university and its transformation over the past 5 decades are a testament to and a tribute to President Harrison's predecessors, Ralph Prater, James Cleary, Belinda Wilson, and Jolene Kester, all combined greatly to making this university what it is today. Now, we welcome our 5th president, Dr. Dianne Harrison. Who knows what crisis will define her presidency? Let's hope that the earthquake in 1994 is not repeated during her tenure. Yes. What recognitions will be bestowed upon our campus? What challenges may arise? And what buildings even will she build? We can only speculate what great accomplishments will come from those students who will receive their diplomas in the next couple weeks with her signature and that of the governor, CSU board chair, and of course, Chancellor Timothy White. I know from personal experience that this university and its faculty and staff have the ability to unlock the potential of our students under President Harrison's leadership. This is a place where individuals can learn, grow, and develop into the leaders of tomorrow. President Harrison has already begun the process of defining her legacy and making her mark on this institution. I am confident that she will continue to cultivate achievement and success from tomorrow's students who will soon become matadors forever. On behalf of the past, the present, and the future alumni of California State University Northridge, I welcome President Harrison, and I look forward to her bright future under her leadership. Thank you.
Very nice, Dennis. Thank you, Dennis. And now to represent the community, it's my pleasure to introduce the chair of the Cal State University Northridge Foundation, Earl Inzer. Earl?
Thank you. On behalf of the community and the supporters of Cal State University Northridge, and as chair of the board of directors of the Cal State University Northridge Foundation, I'm delighted to welcome and congratulate President Dianne Harrison on her formal investiture as CSUN's 5th president. There's no doubt she's the right person to be leading this university at this moment in time. As one of the largest and most diverse universities in the United States, CSUN should be recognized as one of its most important. As we do each year at this time, next week, we are graduating nearly 10,000 students. CSUN provides our diverse, creative, and resilient community with outstanding, well-prepared teachers, engineers, artists, entrepreneurs, healthcare professionals, social workers, and other leaders in a wide array of disciplines. It educates young people who are prepared to think critically and act with confidence for the betterment of the region and the betterment of the nation. It provides research results that make a difference in the lives of people. It helps guide decision-making in all areas of society through practical, hands-on consulting. Our graduates' future careers and accomplishments will tackle many of the region's most vexing challenges. I know this not just as a longtime volunteer and donor to Cal State Northridge, but personally. I grew up in the neighborhood, went to James Monroe High School, just a few miles away from here, for those of you familiar with the area, and came to CSUN where I felt I was well prepared, came out better rounded, well educated, and ready for a career and a happy life ahead. In fact, like Dennis, I met my wife here as well. So I think it sounds like the school's outperforming Match.com. As President Harrison has stated so clearly and compellingly, CSUN shines by making our students and our community shine. For our region to continue this success and to continue to shine, CSUN must continue to succeed as this region's flagship institution. That success requires a strong, visionary, inclusive president at its helm, a president with the capacity to inspire and to engage all parts of our community. Having worked with Dianne Harrison now for almost a year, I can testify that she is that leader. I'm gratified that we've found each other at this stage of CSUN's history. So once again, President Harrison, welcome to Cal State University Northridge, to our community. We're delighted to offer you our continued and enthusiastic support.
So why not keep a good thing going? I married my wife from the undergraduate student population, so it's kind of a Northridge thing, you see. Thank you, Earl. And thank you also to the CSUN community of donors and sponsors whose gifts have paid for today's investiture and celebration. Again, whose gifts have paid for today's investiture and celebration. Thank you, donors. We invite you to note their names as they are displayed on the back of your program and also on the banner in the lobby. It's now my pleasure to introduce our staff colleague, Veronica Grant, Special Assistant to the Vice President of University Advancement. Veronica?
On behalf of 1,849 university staff members, it is my distinct honor and pleasure to welcome President Dianne Harrison as the 5th Board-appointed President of California State University Northridge. I'd like to share with you some of the attributes the CSUN community was looking for when we began our search for a new president 1.5 years ago. Understands outreach to diverse communities, is committed to shared governance, works well with alumni and the community, has a broad vision, is accessible, understands CSUN's core values, is a team builder, forward thinker, and has good stamina. Yes, we did ask for good stamina. President Harrison, not only did you arrive on campus with these attributes, you arrived with much more. To this list, allow me to add tremendous passion and being a catalyst for innovation. Your commitment to the entire CSUN community is admirable. Like a new parent, you instantly began to brag about CSUN's successes, and soon you had produced a CSUN Shine brochure highlighting our many accomplishments. Like an involved parent, you also became a role model and have shown us how deeply committed you are to building on our strengths and traditions. Like a wise parent, you see CSUN's potential. You do not shy away from tough topics, but have faced them head-on like a true matador. We strive to make an impact today because every day we wait is one more missed opportunity to further our students' success. Yes, it means doing more, sometimes with less, but it is only by doing more that the collective we can achieve and become more. That is why CSUN is where potential becomes success. I can say with confidence that the commitment of the staff here today is authentic, and their dedication is wholehearted. 70% of staff have worked at CSUN for more than 5 years, and our longest serving staffer has been here 40 years. 472 staff are alums. Many of us work behind the scenes, quietly showcasing quality and excellence because we too feel like proud parents and see potential. In the coming weeks, we will honor staff for their service. Walking in today's processional are staff members who have been nominated for merit awards, an honor given to those who consistently go above and beyond in serving our CSUN community. I think many staffers will concur that the true benefit of being a matador is what CSUN gives in return, a sense of community and a place where all talents are appreciated, valued, and supported. I stand here on behalf of the university staff to say thank you, President Harrison, for making CSUN your community. We believe to our core in the promise CSUN offers, and with your leadership, we'll continue to serve the university and the community.
Thank you, Veronica. And for our final greeting, it is now my pleasure to introduce the president of our faculty, Stephen Stepanek.
Greetings. On behalf of all the faculty at California State University, Northridge, it's my privilege to welcome Dianne Harrison as CSUN's 5th president. This occasion is even more momentous because it's being held in this absolutely splendid facility. In the processional, the faculty entered wearing colorful academic regalia in recognition of the breadth of disciplines and institutions from across the world from which these faculty have brought their experiences to CSUN. I also want to recognize that additional faculty are seated in the general audience. In this 5th investiture, we face a time of change, both for CSUN and the entire CSU system. Now, in some ways, that's a very cliched statement. But the reality is, we are at a time of incredible opportunity as we come to terms with the economic realities of the state and the pedagogical opportunities made possible by the rapid growth of internet technologies. These advances have permitted CSUN to be in the forefront of the development of online courses and degrees, and of changes to traditional classroom presentation designed to improve student success, lower textbook costs, and provide a richer learning experience. We're at the threshold of a new initiative called My CSUN Tablet, which is going to provide students in selected programs starting in the fall with iPad-based learning experiences. We've been told that this is one of the most ambitious rollouts of iPads at a university where there actually is a detailed plan for their integration into instruction. Next Monday, faculty at CSUN will honor 9 of their own for excellence as outstanding faculty for distinguished teaching, counseling and librarianship, extraordinary service, preeminent scholarly publications, exemplary creative accomplishments, and visionary community service learning. But the reality is that many, many more of the faculty that are even in this room today, we need to honor because they're currently involved in many cutting-edge research in their fields of study, extraordinary service, exemplary creative accomplishments, and distinguished teaching. CSUN truly shines. It's already been mentioned, the Northridge earthquake, so I'm also going to state it's been 19 years since that particular event. During that particular time, we have rebuilt an incredible campus, both physically and pedagogically. We have a bright future ahead of us and a new president who is already has challenged the faculty to play an important role in the shaping of that future. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen, and thank you to all of those who have extended a greeting to the President today. In honor of today's ceremony, the CSUN Guitar Quartet has prepared a special musical selection. They will be performing Llanura by Alfonso Montes. Ladies and gentlemen, the CSUN Guitar Quartet, Christian, Juan, Adrian, and Raymond. And please now, it is my privilege to ask Chancellor White to come forward to share his remarks on this wonderful occasion.
Boy, weren't those musicians just fabulous? Let's give them another round. So to President Harrison, to Vice Chair of the Board of Trustees, Monville, to my colleagues and ladies and gentlemen, it is a profound honor as the Chancellor of the California State University to invest Dianne Harrison as the California State University Northridge's 5th president. As you know, she is an accomplished academic as well as an accomplished university administrator. She was an outstanding choice for Cal State Northridge. She has an impressive record, if you will, in scholarship and research and teaching, as well as in administration. And she has a very strong and unwavering commitment to the success of our students from wherever they may be to launch them to a better future. She has a reputation, and you heard some of this already this morning, for building partnerships with all who will listen and on occasion those who don't listen, both in the public and the private sector. Those partnerships to enable the institution to succeed at a higher level and to enable student success for the future. She's also engaging faculty and staff in the innovations in instruction and in research in the business model of higher education to allow this campus to remain a bright star in the Cal State system. I think her strategic thinking and innovation is well known to this campus already, and is necessary today, as you've heard and as you know, about the path we're trying to navigate, one that is full of opportunity, in my view, great opportunity, but is going to require some change and also the outcome will be of profound importance to the state's economy and to the social mobility of Californians. And importantly, she really does understand CSUN. And you always want to have great fit with your campus leader with the mission and values and history of a great institution like Cal State University Northridge. If I may ask President Harrison and Trustee Monville to come forward to my right to join me. By the authority granted to me by the trustees of the California State University, I hereby invest you with the office of President of California State University Northridge with all the honors, privileges, and yet most importantly, the authority, responsibilities, and accountability pertaining thereto. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome President Dianne Harrison.
Okay, thank you. Well, this thing's heavy, by the way. So, Chancellor White, CSU Trustee Vice Chair Monville, fellow presidents, faculty, staff, students, alumni, friends, family, and members of our community. I am very privileged to be standing here this morning for my investiture as the 5th president of California State University Northridge. CSUN's growing reputation for excellence and the challenges that we've heard about that lie ahead of us, given all of that, as we want to continue our forward momentum, I am indeed honored by the trust and confidence that has been placed in me to lead this great institution. I am pleased to welcome all of you to the CSUN campus and to this magnificent Valley Performing Arts Center. I'm honored to have so many distinguished guests on campus. And I do want to thank a few family members for coming today. I come from a family of 7 kids, and everyone lives on the East Coast or in the South, that part of the country. So I was fortunate to have 2 of my siblings fly in for this occasion. We normally mostly gather these days for weddings and funerals, I'm afraid. But Dr. James Harrison and his wife Marie are here from Mobile, Alabama. Thank you. I'll tell you, Jimmy is my oldest brother. And after my father's passing at a fairly early age, he probably gave me the best advice ever when I was 20. He said, "Forget about being a flight attendant. Get your master's degree," which I did. So if you don't like something I do, call Jimmy. It's his fault. No. My youngest sister, Debbie Balsley, is here. She's so I have both bookends in the family. But Debbie is a nurse practitioner in Birmingham and constantly reminds me of how much younger she is than I am. So thank you, Debbie, for being here. I want to acknowledge my husband, John Wujak, who has become a great friend raiser for CSUN and who is so supportive of my sometimes insane schedule and workaholism. But he's also currently chair of the Spouse Partner Planning Committee for ASCU, which is the American Association for Schools and State Colleges and Universities, and he's a former mayor of Bend, Oregon. And finally, my daughter, Melissa Montgomery, who flew in from Indianapolis to be here today. She's my best girlfriend and my #1 cheerleader. Thank you, Melissa. My son, John Paul Montgomery, could not be here today. He's presenting his senior capstone project in Monterey. And as soon as the festivities are completed here, we will drive to Monterey and attend his graduation in the morning. Yes. I never thought I would say those words or see the day, so yay. Thank you for allowing me those personal comments. Now back to today's event. The investiture ceremony is one of the oldest traditions in academia, signifying the ceremonial transfer of the symbols of the office. In this case, the CSUN Presidential Medallion and the pursuit of knowledge. Most typically, it is done at the end of the person's first year. And some experts have suggested that this timing, of course, is to make sure the person is suitable before doing the ceremony. So I guess I've passed one test. But today we really do celebrate something much bigger, much greater than any one person. It is an opportunity to reflect on the great history and the traditions of higher education, and especially California State University, Northridge. And more importantly, I think it's an opportunity to look ahead to the future, to shine a light on the university's critical and outstanding work in fulfilling its promise and its mission, which is embodied in the theme of today's investiture ceremony, unlocking potential and cultivating achievement. Among the diverse, committed students who have chosen to enroll in CSUN, as well as the dedicated faculty and staff who work here. Before talking about the present and looking a little bit into the future, I do want to recognize my predecessors. Dr. Ralph Prater, who was the first president of this institution, which was founded in 1958 as San Fernando Valley State College, and who laid the foundation for CSUN today. Dr. James Cleary, president from 69 to 92, under whom the university was officially renamed California State University Northridge, and who led the university through incredible explosive growth, overseeing a doubling of enrollment to a record high at one point of 31,500 students during his tenure. And Dr. Belinda Wilson, who was president from 1992 to 2001, who sustained and indeed advanced the excellence of CSUN despite the overwhelming challenges of leading the campus through the devastating 1994 Northridge earthquake. And my immediate predecessor and dear friend, Dr. Jolene Kester, who served as president until 2011 and who worked to ensure that CSUN was the intellectual, economic, and cultural heart of the San Fernando Valley and beyond, and who was steadfast in realizing the very building that we're in today. I want to thank these predecessors, as well as the community members, the faculty, and the staff who have made CSUN what it is today. Because of them, because of their vision and their accomplishments, I inherit a resilient, rebuilt, and strong institution that is ready to move on to a second story here. It's been nearly a full year since I assumed the presidency at CSUN back on June 11th, 2012. During that time, I have been busy learning about the institution, meeting with many of CSUN's constituents, friends, and supporters, building relationships in the community, and overseeing what many have described as basically a small city. And with next week's commencement festivities, I will have gone through the entire academic year cycle. And I want to highlight a few of the things that I have been involved in. Attending almost every one of the freshman and new student orientations, and my first freshman convocation where we welcomed 3,900 new freshmen in our class. I delivered my first President's Convocation right here in the Valley Performing Arts Center to almost 1,000 faculty and staff. And I made the comment during the convocation that I was so glad we were indoors. It was very warm. We hosted and fed 6,500 students at the Welcome Back picnic to kick off last academic year. I hosted the first ever campus-wide reception for principal investigators to thank our researchers and scholars for their work and contributions. We inducted 50 new members into the 50-year club at our annual Founders Day event sponsored by our Alumni Association. We celebrated this year the grand openings of our new Veterans Resource Center and Pride Center. I saw the results of the projects by our students in the Northridge Scholars Program, produced under the guidance of very dedicated faculty mentors. And yes, we have already had some crises, including the temporary evacuation of the university library. We had a bomb threat. We had students who were protesting, rightly so, I might add, for proposed fee penalties for taking too many credit units. We've had several students hit by vehicles, and we had an emergency crash landing of a small plane on one of our recreation fields the Sunday after Thanksgiving. In fact, I want to also acknowledge someone who you may have seen outside as you were entering the building, and for whom I have the utmost respect and admiration, and that is Izzy. Yeah, people know Izzy. For those of you who aren't familiar with Izzy, she's our German Shepherd bomb-sniffing expert, and her handler, Sergeant Thomas Finnerty. Izzy provides a great deal of reassurance to us and is a true professional at age 2. And it's true. Sometimes they say, you know, a dog is man's best friend. Well, I can tell you in this case, this dog is a university president's best friend. I've had the pleasure of hosting several student groups beyond those for the various formal events. I've hosted lunches or breakfasts with 10 of our 18 sports team consisting of about 220 student athletes and their coaches. I've hosted 70 staff members at different breakfasts and lunches. I think I'm up to about 60 faculty that we've covered. I would like to say that my goal is to have breakfast or lunch with each and every one of our faculty or staff. There are 4,000 of them, so it's going to be a while, and I'm going to have to really watch what I eat. Before the year even began, last summer, I spent a couple of months meeting. I probably met about 600 different people in the community, supporters, elected officials, otherwise. And through this year, I've attended numerous Matador athletic events, receptions, student film showcases, art exhibit, engineering showcase, MSW capstone, and student performances. And plus, on 2 occasions, I had the privilege of listening to our incredible Northridge singers under the direction of Paul Smith. It's been an incredibly busy but productive and personally fulfilling year. From the many activities and meetings, I can more emphatically attest, very confidently, firsthand experience, that CSUN is a vibrant and enriching institution focused on excellence and student success. And yes, focused on unlocking potential and cultivating achievement. It is an environment where people respect one another while working across traditional and divisional lines for the shared purpose of ensuring student and institutional success. I have seen this at the cabinet level and the extended cabinet level, whose members are seated on stage with me today, and among our managers, our faculty, our staff, and our students. John and I have felt incredibly appreciated, and we appreciate the warm welcome we have received. And in turn, I intend to support your work on behalf of the institution and its students and its mission. The title and theme of the Investiture, Unlocking Potential and Cultivating Achievement, these words obviously primarily relate to our students, but I also see them as relating to our faculty and our staff and the university as a whole, because they're all connected to what we describe in our university priorities as an unrelenting focus on student success. This theme has been the key to the success and growing national and international reputation of the California State University system as one of the world's great public institutions. In keeping with that tradition that has made American higher education extraordinary, we in the CSU focus on giving students of promise access to all that higher education has to offer. The CSU reaches out to those who have taken sometimes non-traditional paths to the university's door, those who are the first in their families to go to college, those remarkable and resilient members of our community who have faced exceptional challenges in life, and those who need perhaps a bit of extra support and encouragement from caring faculty for their talents to grow. And of course, we are still and increasingly the first choice for many students who are academic high achievers, who enroll in our honors courses, and are in the top 10% of their high school graduates. But we also hold tightly to our belief that what American higher education at its best, what we do at our best, is to take students of promise from the broad spectrum of our shared communities and to give them the opportunities to realize that promise to the advantage of all of us. We offer the kind of high-quality education that is necessary to succeed in a world that is more and more global, knowledge, information, and technology-based. And as one of the largest and most diverse campuses in the CSU and in the country, CSUN has always embodied this spirit of access and opportunity and led in serving students who reflect their community and the growing diversity of California and our nation. In turn, today's society and workplace demand that students graduate with a broader set of skills so that regardless of their major, they have the knowledge and the intellectual curiosity to engage in evidence-based reasoning and innovation. With this in mind, I've asked faculty to view their roles as gatekeepers, maintaining quality and educational excellence while also unlocking student potential. Potential to become an astronaut, a teacher of the year, a film director, a Wall Street investment banker, an attorney, a world-renowned artist or scientist or aerospace engineer, a creator of assistive technology, lead soprano for a major opera company, a professional athlete, or a state governor. And by the way, those are just some examples of actual CSUN alumni achievements. Once our students realize their potential, we can then cultivate their achievement both here and into the future. And to borrow a phrase that many of our CSUN veterans will understand, to become all you can be. I recently attended our Distinguished Alumni Awards Gala, apparently the biggest yet. We had about 450 attendees. But I saw evidence for the important work that our university plays in unlocking potential and cultivating achievement among our students. This year's honorees, George Lees, Regional President for the Central Coast for Union Bank, Ravi Sawhney, President and Chief Executive Officer of the award-winning design firm RKS, and National Teacher of the Year, Rebecca Milwaukee, who was honored in 2012 by President Obama at the White House. And during the gala, each one of these individuals spoke sincerely and authentically about how much CSUN had influenced their lives and gave them the skills and the confidence necessary to succeed. As we prepare for commencements we have here, lots, I have seen the same theme in the stories of the students who will graduate next week. There is Janiki Renee Allen, a young African-American woman who did her undergraduate research and master's degree in biology. On the merit of her accomplishments and her work at CSUN, she is one of 6 students admitted to an incredibly competitive Ph.D. program at Cedars-Sinai. I also recently had lunch with twin brothers, Tay and Dre Thompson. Did they make it? They were going to try to come. They had a final today. Yay. Thank you. One of the twins works in the financial aid office as a peer mentor, and he also teaches financial literacy, and you've never heard someone more passionate and compelling make an argument about why it's important that he and we teach financial literacy. Tay works in the outreach in the Student Services Center of the College of Business and Economics. Both of these young men have come from very challenging circumstances I cannot begin to describe. But I will also tell you that they are among the most enthusiastic, positive students that I have met, and they have found opportunities to shine at CSUN. So congratulations, and keep up your great work, please. Another incredible success story is Hector Martinez. Hector was the first in his family to attend college, which so many of our students are. He did a short stint at community college, and then he joined the Marine Corps, where he was exposed to a wider, diverse world and found the focus and confidence to continue his studies. After returning from a combat deployment in 2007, he enrolled at CSUN. He's now in the Master of Social Work program, I'm happy to say, and will graduate next week. At our first ever Veterans graduation ceremony last week, Hector received the Outstanding Veterans Award for his service and dedication to the CSUN mission. I also have to acknowledge Alberto de Jesus Munoz, a member of the Matador Patrol and a community service assistant. Alberto cannot be here today because he is still in the hospital. While performing his duties as a safety escort, he and another student were struck in a crosswalk by an automobile that ran a red light. Alberto saved the life of his fellow student by pushing her out of the way and taking the full force of the impact. No one was surprised by his selfless act of bravery because he is a young man of great character. To Alberto and his family, I extend my best wishes for a full recovery and express so much pride in your being part of the Matador community. Thank you, Alberto. This thing really is heavy. Unlocking potential, cultivating achievement. These are just few of the examples of our incredible students that we have here who come to CSUN seeking an opportunity to succeed, to excel, and to give back to their communities, despite the challenges that otherwise might have been barriers to their success. Our work to unlock potential and cultivate achievement also extends to our K through 12 partners. CSUN recently partnered with the Nanjing University of Science and Technology in China to invite Los Angeles high school and middle school students to submit project proposals for a possible science experiment on a Chinese space shuttle. Dr. Paul Chow in physics and astronomy, Dr. Guangnong Chow in mathematics, Dr. Justine Su, director of the CSUN China Institute, and Dr. Stephen Oppenheimer, a U.S. Presidential Award winner who was on the platform party this morning as our mace bearer. Thank you, Dr. Oppenheimer, are involved in this exciting new project that not only promotes international cooperation and understanding between China and the United States, but it gives students an opportunity to be excited by science and potentially be involved in scientific research in space. We're hoping that 2 of our students, young scientists, that is, and their teachers, will travel to China to be recognized and hopefully see their experiments launched. My job as CSUN's president in the coming years will be to continue to unlock the potential of this great university and cultivate achievement whenever and wherever I can. In short, my job is simple. Create an environment, create an atmosphere in which our students and the university flourishes. A major key to achieving that simple goal among our students is a dedicated and talented staff and faculty whose potential must similarly be nurtured and cultivated. And it's recognized in our recently released planning priorities, where we commit to focus on success for employees. And we will continue to do so by creating a positive and engaged environment where employees feel valued for their work and contributions, are given opportunities to grow and develop leadership skills, and are encouraged to be innovative in their own jobs and through research, scholarly, and creative activity. One way we tried to do this among our faculty and staff, and our students participated as well, was something we called Help Make CSUN Shine Brighter. So every couple of months, an issue would be brought to the campus community for their consideration, and we invited submission of constructive and cost-effective solutions. It's really been a wonderful success so far. The first topic resulted in pedestrian and vehicular traffic initiative, and we have a lot of work, I guess. Our second, and just released a few weeks ago, giving us great ideas to encourage and expand Matador pride and enhance the university's visibility. I'm proud to announce that the first topic for the fall will be achieving a tobacco-free campus. As many of us know here today, public higher education faces significant challenges, and we're looking at a sea change in the way we conduct our business of education. We're being asked by the public and our government and civic leaders to be more accountable, which we are very happy to do. Employers are taking a greater interest in how we prepare students for a new kind of work environment that changes rapidly and requires the intellectual ability to innovate, to engage in evidence-based reasoning and problem solving, to think critically and globally. The question is, how do we meet these challenges and still remain true to our unique mission and our commitment to diversity and access? At CSUN, we're already finding ways and leading ways to meeting these challenges and transforming the ways that we teach and the ways students learn. These are reflected in our university priorities, which encompass the priorities I identified for my presidency, as well as those that we acquired through our accreditation process and the university's divisional and college planning. Now, in most academic circles, that would be known as our strategic plan. But at CSUN, we cut to the chase and we talk about our priorities. And one of these priorities is the recognition that that in order to remain effective and relevant to this region, we're going to have to do so with less fiscal dependence on the state of California. So we're planning on that. We're planning for a future that is less dependent. We would prefer not, but we're realists. And among our priorities is to increase our research activity and sponsor programs. Research, both basic and applied, has always been an essential part of this university's mission. By engaging the expertise of our faculty to address compelling challenges and problems facing the region, the state, and the world. Funded research is important because it's a source of support for both faculty and students, and when it involves students, it also becomes one of the highest forms of educational experience and learning. So we're providing those opportunities for our students here. I think that the undergraduate student research experiences at CSUN and within the entire CSU far surpass the experience of our counterparts at Research One institutions, and is probably the reason why CSUN is ranked by the National Science Foundation as #1 in psychology, #2 in science and engineering, and #5 in biology nationally among comprehensive universities preparing students who later earn doctorate degrees. These are incredible statistics, and we should all be very proud of that. Stephen Stepanek, president of our Faculty Senate, talked to you a little bit about the My CSUN tablet, our partnership with Apple. I think we're very excited by that for a number of reasons, but one is because it will be less costly for students. They can use those tablets in more than one classroom instead of a textbook. It will also provide them with the kinds of technology tools that we will that will prepare them well for going into the future. And this fall, we will have about 60 faculty members, 70 student advisors across many disciplines and majors, piloting these My CSUN tablets and assessing the program to make sure that this is making a huge difference in how students learn. We're working actively with a number of the region's leading economic development organizations. Los Angeles County Economic Development Corporation, I think I saw Bill Allen outside. The Valley Industry and Commerce Association and the Valley Economic Alliance, all part of CSUN's ongoing commitment to make the university and to help in our applied research, along with its preparation of high talented professionals, an essential and important component of the region's strength in the emerging global economy. We believe that innovation will play the starring role in the future of this region's economy. It will drive the creation of new industries, new jobs, and a rich quality of life for the region's communities. And we're now stepping forward to play a leading role in innovation and commercial development. With this leadership role in mind, CSUN has joined the LA Clean Tech Incubators Leadership Council, and we're actively engaged in exploring how that impressive new resource for innovation and commercial development for the region can collaborate with CSUN to make a positive impact on the economic future of the Valley and surrounding communities. All of these examples I use to provide an illustration of how CSUN is trying to optimize and remain directly confronting our challenges and thinking ahead for our future. When I became interested in higher education leadership and became a dean, one of my favorite books on the subject was something called The University and Owner's Manual. It was written by Henry Rosofsky. He was a respected economist, some of you may know this, who served 11 years as dean of the Faculty of Arts and Sciences at Harvard. And based on his experience, he wrote this perceptive and I thought very witty book about America's universities and colleges. In each section of the book, you would have the perspectives on the various owners or shareholders of the modern university, including students, faculty, staff, alumni, and trustees. And while the author acknowledged the frailties and the flaws of the American higher education system, at the heart of the book is a deep, abiding respect and love for the role that academics play in our society. And he reminds us that as faculty, staff, and administrators, we practice our profession as a calling. And we believe we are engaged in activities of very high social value. I hope I speak for the faculty, staff, and administrators at CSUN when I say that despite the challenges we face, we love what we do, and we recognize that our work is important, and it is essential to the success and the advancement of our students, their families, and indeed society. With this in mind, I ask each of you to join me in our mission of unlocking potential and cultivating achievement at California State University, Northridge. Thank you for coming, and I hope that each of you takes home a little bit of our sea sunshine with you today. Thank you.
We thank you, President Harrison, for those inspiring remarks, and most especially for placing student success at the core of your leadership and providing concrete ways by which we as faculty and staff will join you in accomplishing that goal. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you again to please rise and remain standing. as we sing our university alma mater. I know most of you have it already memorized, but for those of you who do not, it is on page 7 in your program. We do want you to sing with him.
Hail to all the matadors, and to our school so dear, as we move along the road of life, let us keep from doubt or fear. For the knowledge which we find here, for all who urge us on, the spirit of the red and white will brighten every dawn. Where the sun is shining, and where truth leads an open door, to honor strong and courage tall, we hail our matador.
We wish to thank you all for joining us this morning for this wonderful celebration of Cal State Northridge and our president, who will guide us through the next phase of our future. I'd like to take a moment to thank the staff and student volunteers who assisted in the months-long planning and execution of this event. Our student musicians and faculty conductors who provided outstanding performances today, Kevin Sikatsis and Kate Bess, our interpreters, and Dr. Michael Phillips, our announcer. Let us give them all a round of applause. We invite you to continue to celebrate at the reception located just outside the Valley Performing Arts Center. Please join us and offer your own words of congratulations to President Harrison. This brings us to the close of this investiture ceremony. We ask that the audience kindly remain seated for the formal platform while the formal platform party processes out. We would ask that those individuals who are a part of the orchestra section here who are in regalia, that you will remain standing while the platform party goes out and join us as we go. Thank you all for joining us on this marvelous occasion.